Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्रीमद् अभय चरणविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की सामवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की दाय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 1, Chapter 4, Text 11. Namanti. Yeah, same, okay. Namanti yatpada niketam atmana. Sivaya hanya dhanani satrava. Katham saviram shriyam mangadustejam. Yuvas sastrum aho sasubhi. Namanti yatpada niketam atmana. Sivaya haniya dhanani satrava. Katham savira shriyam manga dustyajam. Yuva sato satrum aho sahu subhi. Namanti yatpada niketam atmana. Sivaya haniye dhanani satrava. Katham savira shriyam manga dustyajam. Yuvasya sato sutrum aho sasubhi. Namanti yatpada niketa atmana. Sivaya haniye dhanani satrava. Sasvira siryam mangadustacham. Yavaisato satrum aho sahasubhi. Namanti, bow, so bow down. Yatpada, whose feet. Niketam, under. Atmana, own. Sivaya, welfare. Haniya, used to bring about. Dhanani, wealth. Satrava, enemies. Katham, for what reason? Sa, he. Vira, the chivalrous. Shriyam, opulence. Anga, oh. Dustajam, insuperable. Yuva, in full youth. Asista, desired. Utrustum, to give up. Aho, exclamation. Saha, with, Asubhi, life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki. He was such a great emperor that all his enemies will come and bow down at his feet and surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. He was full of youth and strength, and he possessed inseparable kingly opulence. Why did he want to give up everything, including his life? Purport. There was nothing undesirable in his life. He was quite a young man and could enjoy life with power and opulence. So there was no question of retiring from his active life. There was no difficulty in collecting the state taxes because he was so powerful and chivalrous that even his enemy would come to him and bow down at his feet and surrender all wealth for their own benefits. Maharaj Parikshit was a pious king. He conquered his enemy and therefore the kingdom was fully of prosperity. There was enough milk, grains and metals. All the rivers and mountains were full of potency. So materially everything was satisfactory. Therefore there was no questions of untimely giving up his kingdom and life. The sages were eager to hear about all this. Jai Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadanti Sapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Uthapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Savadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Nitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataruvesya Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in this one we are reading about the pastime of Maharaj Parikshit. In previous classes, Gokuleshwar Prabhu wonderfully gives so many descriptions and examples relating to this. Yesterday, Anubhav Mataji also nicely describes like so many different qualities of ideal king. And this leads to this verse saying that how Parikshit Maharaj was the great emperor ruling, all over, and then he was so powerful that even enemies will come and bow down before him and surrender unto his feet. So, and because of his strength, there was no competition. So enemy won't even bother to challenge him. So that was the position of Parikshit Maharaj. In the beginning, when this relates to different pastimes and stories where when Vyasadeva, when he was trying to write different scriptures Vedas, 4 Vedas, Puranas and Itihasas. So when he was trying to write different these scriptures, then he engages different acharyas for the different Vedas, like, so for Rig Vedas, like Paila Muni was the Acharya, and then so on, like Jamini and Atri, they all took up like different, they became like different acharyas of the different sects of the book. So, and he wrote, and he wrote like Mahabharata for like all kinds of people, and he wrote Puranas as well, so just for the benefits of all the humanity. And doing that, and he wasn't feeling happy and satisfied, and he felt in his heart that because I am not glorifying Supreme Personality of Godhead in devotion, so that's why that unsatisfaction must be there. So at the same time, we see that Narada Muni comes and approach him, and then he says, "Yeah, that's right. Because you haven't directly glorified Supreme Personality of Godhead, you haven't broadcast the message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why you're not feeling satisfaction. Because all this, the message from the Vedas, like the possessor, the living entity trying to enjoy, and what shall be the accumulation, all this are just simply, all these activities, whatever we've been described, the sense gratification and everything, it just like agitates the mind. He gives the example, just like how the boat in the river, which doesn't have the resting place, it's just like simply just moving from one place to another. Similarly, the mind, which is not fixed on Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is not fixed on hearing His glorious pastimes, it just simply agitates, it just simply frustrates. No matter sense gratification, one will get, like you won't be completely satisfied. So that's positions. That's why you have to glorify the Srimad Bhagavatam, and by glorifying that, that satisfaction will be there. So that's the understanding Narada Muni gave to Vyasadeva. So after that, we see the transaction, and then how Parishit Maharaj was born. And Maharaj Parishit, beginning from the birth, his activities, and towards the end, all his pastimes are very amazing to hear about. And we see in the beginning also, how when Maharaj Parishit was about to born, the burnings, how he was born, the sequence was like, two people, Arjuna and Ashwadhama, they have to fight, between the greatest of all astras, like Brahmastra. So because of the Brahmastra, how was thrown into his mother Uttara's womb. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has to rush towards the womb and then protect the Maharaj Pariksit. That was the condition actually. And then such a big thing happened, just before his birth also. We could imagine how much glorious must the personality must be. In the pastime of how four Kumaras trying to curse Jai Vijay, after they cursed, they felt that whether we did right or wrong, and they were confused. And as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he comes, and as on seeing them, they were so astonished, and so so mesmerized there by the beauty of Lord Vishnu. And so when they saw Vishnu, and they were so scared, and they were a bit confused. On cursing Jai Vijay, where did you do the right thing or not? So that was in their mind. And Lord Vishnu says don't worry, whatever you did, everything is ordained by me. Everything is planned by me. So nothing happens, because of his, because without the will of Krishna. Similarly, you can see this pastime, how Parishit Maharaj, getting born, and then all this sequence happens, fight between two big astras, Brahmastra, and then he was about to get killed by the Brahmastra in his womb, and Supreme Personality of the Godhead Krishna, he comes personally running, and then he goes to the womb and he saves him, and he
gets the darshan of Krishna. And when he sees Krishna, he was like completely happy, peaceful, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was so beautiful that he was wearing such a wonderful garments, and his ornaments were like they were lighting up, and then he was so completely mesmerized by the beauty. And so after, when he took birth, and because he has seen such a beautiful personality, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was looking everywhere just to find that personality. That's why Parishit Maharaj's other name is like, called one who is the examiner, so one who examines. So he was examining everyone, whether he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead or not. So that went on. And then when he was born, then Maharaj Yudhishthira was so happy. And then he called all the Brahmanas, and those Brahmanas explained how so many different Brahmanas were present, and then they explained that this son that you have, it's not like an ordinary person. He has all the good qualities of all the kings, and he keeps on giving examples of different kings. How he will be in terms of ruling, he will be as great as the king Ikshvaku. And then when in terms of truthfulness of his vow, he will be as Lord Ramachandra. And in terms of Brahmanical quality, he will be like Yudhishthira Maharaj. And so he keeps on telling different reasons. And in terms of chivalry, he will be as powerful as Arjuna. So, and he will have qualities of Lord Shiva. He will have quality of and in terms of and in terms of strength, he will possess so many different qualities. He will be as charitable as King Sivi, and so many different examples he gives. So this describes that how amazing that Parishit Maharaj was actually. He possessed all the qualities that all the kings were having. So that was his divine quality. And so and after that, and by the will of providence, many people say how this, I heard from different people where they get more confused by the modern trend of media, and then how you have different authors which are not bona fide. So some of the most commonly misunderstanding is how Maharaj Parikshit also, he get confused when he gets bewildered by the Kali, because he was wearing the gold helmet, and then he gets confused. But that's not the reason actually. Maharaj Parikshit was a pure devotee, so because he was put in that situation so that Bhagavatam could be spoken. So just because of that, and as he was hunting, the pastime happens. As he was hunting, he goes to the Samika Rishi ashram, and then because he was not well received, and he wasn't given, he was thirsty and hungry, so he wasn't given water. Just because of that, he puts the dead snake on the Samika Rishi's body, and as a Sringi Brahmana, his son came to know this, and when he came to know this, he was very angry, and then he cursed Parikshit Maharaj to that he will be dead in 7 days by the killing of the snake. So, and as soon as Maharaj Parikshit heard that, and he wasn't bothered of this situation, and he felt like he could counter curse, and that's why and he has such a he was having such an ability. Even the people all the different kings were bowing down before him, so he could counter curse all the curse what he got. So, but he didn't did that. So that's why this question arises, how he was a first class devotee of the Lord, and he was very wonderful, and he can tell more about him, and how come he left the such a wonderful kingdom, why such things happens. So these questions has been raised in this this verses. So and after that, like, how we can see the example, like, how Maharaj Parikshit, he was, protector of the cows. He was not letting the cow to be killed, by the Kali personified. So those kind of things, like activities, are there in good kings. Yesterday, Mataji rightly, nicely mentions that, how the king should have, like, should be protecting dharma, and then protect the citizen, and then so many other good qualities they have. Like as Kshatriya, like, how heroism, determination, power to live, all these qualities have, the qualities of Kshatriyas. Whereas Brahmanas, we have, like, cleanliness, tolerance, purity, austerity, and all those qualities are, qualities of Brahmana. Similarly, we see for the Vaishyas, the farming, like, business, and the cow protections, like, are the activities that, Vaisya usually do. And then, Sudras, they usually, like, serve all three classes of people. But in today's context, like, those kind of Kshatriyas are, like, very rare to see, just like Maharaj Parikshit, we can see. So, and those greatly kings, like, they used to set the example by themselves. So all the general populace, they used to follow, those amazing personalities. And but nowadays we can't see, like, all that actually, because the Kali Yuga has progressed so much. Dharma has declined, and because the dharma and people are not able to follow. Last king, I remember, like, Hindu king, you can say, like, from Nepal, and he himself was, like, going and going to different places and sacrificing different animals. So there was no protections of the animals as well. And many times, and as they have to protect the cows as well, the kings, and we see that how Maharaj Parikshit was so much concerned about the cows, that how when Kali personified was about to kill the cow, he was ready to kill the person actually. So that's the importance of the cow, And we can see, I was just seeing the example how when you go to the farm, we have a farm, Sesnag, and that farm, they have a lot of farms around, actually, so many people around, they grow the cow. And that place, like, devotees were telling, it's been, they didn't have rain for, like, 2 years, more than 2 years. So completely drought. And then, and I was thinking, what could be the reason, of not having rain on such a place? Because there's a temple, people are doing Sankirtan Yajna, and maybe it could be the possibility that, how, all different places, they have so many different cows. Those cows are not protected cows, After when the cows are big, then they are slaughtered. Because of the immense sinful activities of not protecting cows, it could be, like, so much that, there's a drought in that region for, like, so long. So these things are not happening actually, and then we don't have that, king like Parikshit Maharaj in today's context. So that's why we perform Sankirtan Yajna. That's the only thing, When we try to see, like, idol king like Parikshit Maharaj, it's very disappointing these days, because you won't see that. So we won't see that all the qualities that Kshatriya possess as well, because the Shastra says, like, Kalau Sudra Sambhavat. So in Kali Yuga, everyone is Sudra. So we can't expect, like, to have that. So this current period is just, like, been run by mostly Vaishyas and Sudras. They run the whole country, and they are the one who like, previously the king used to rule, so they are the one who are ruling at the present scenario. So we can't expect much from them actually. The Sudra running the whole country, like, will put into ruination actually. That's why there is so much of corruption, just for the sake of their satisfying their tongue. They don't follow any dharma. So we can see any of the countries, like, what we read in Srimad Bhagvatam, are following to the even to the little extent of what it is being mentioned, protection of the citizen, protection of the cows, non-violence and all that. So nothing is happening. Propagation of glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, those things are not even nowhere around actually. Just how to build this big house, how to construct these temporary roads, how to enjoy more. Those things are the put on more priorities actually. So that's why it's obvious for us to see all this degradation, all this bad things are happening, and people try to see. Well, okay, how come all this people are suffering like anything? So it's obvious for us, seeing through the eyes of the Shastra. We don't have the king, and even the countryman, and they follow those leaders because they vote themselves, and then they expect good things happen. And one of the example I remember, when U.S. president, previous U.S. president, he was trying to, he was giving the speech, and he was telling that someone asked, what do you think of being vegetarian and veganism? And he tell yeah, it's good, being vegetarian and veganism. Yeah, I appreciate people who are there. I like to encourage those people. But to be honest, I love eating meat, that I love steak. So I can't live without that. So, but saying that, I'm not so against, say, I'll help you guys as well. So I like to, those are the leaders, who eat cow, they're trying to protect all the citizens. So, what can we expect from such people actually? And so that expectation is not there. And so that's why we don't have, we can't really think of someone king who is ruling like Maharaj Pariksit. So that's not practically impossible in this current age. So only possible for us, how Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's the Sankirtan Yajna, that purifies everyone. And so just serving the pure devotees, we get the test for hearing the Srimad Bhagvatam, we get the test for hearing the chanting of the holy names. So that will come by serving the devotees, just praising about them, serving all the devotees will come. And so only Sankirtan Yajna, as this says, is the hope for all living entities. I'd like to end here. Is there any comments or questions? For us, we go through the scriptural reference. No, nothing. We didn't see any reference for Nagas controlling Vaishyas and Shudra, so we can't tell. Many people come up with so many different ideas. Not just that, Some people believe the aliens they control. Some people believe that. So some different weird beliefs. The Queen Elizabeth is controlled by Nagas, and we all are Nagas, then in disguise of human being. So all the businessmen, running. So those kind of theory are there. Not just that actually. So many, people who have different weird beliefs. Yeah, that's we don't see in the reference in the Shastra, so we can't tell that. Yeah. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaura Premanande.